This broadcast is presented by the authority of the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association and the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association and the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated is prohibited. On the PCSRA Sports and Gaming Channel from Learfield IMG College. Welcome to Triple P on the Blue Hedgehog TV. Now here's the voice of the PCSRA, Mr. Daniel Voiles.
Hi, welcome to the it's finally May edition of Triple P. Daniel Voiles here in our PCSRA studios, ready for another insightful analysis that will hopefully say we are ready to go as far as that is concerned. It is great to be with you. If you're watching this at almost 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we're live in our PCSRA studios here on YouTube, and we are ready for another awesome show we have coming up for you here on this segment. Today's episode of Triple P, we're going to recap the race weekend from Kansas. We got Miami to discuss, go over the top story news and all that, yada, 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 give you my opinion on what's going on. And we'll preview this weekend's races from the Lady in Black, Darlington, also known as the Track Too Tough to Tame. We also had the IndyCar race this weekend at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Need to see if there's any other racing events I need to be quote unquote aware of preparing this weekend. We also have the Formula E race this weekend as well from Berlin. So we got those races to discuss and all that. So let's go ahead and start Triple P by recapping the F1 race that took place at Miami. The race was really interesting from the word go. Nothing really happened until Max Verstappen hit the bollard going into the chicane before you get to that long kilometer back straightaway. That brought out a virtual safety car, and we thought that was going to be the only safety car of the event. But when contact happened between Kevin Magnussen and Logan Sargent, caused an incident, brought out a full course safety car, and everybody pitted. Max had damage to the car and was unable to keep up with Lando Norris, who ended up staying out during that whole stint. Norris got a free pit stop, stayed in front, led away from the restart, never looked back, and Lando Norris, finally, after 5 seasons he's been in F1, is finally a Grand Prix winner. So the top 10 results for the F1 race: Lando Norris, the Piastri's car after the race was over. Lewis Hamilton comes away with 6th, Yuki Tsunoda 7th, George Russell Kevin Magnussen got a snot load of penalties, finished in 19th. Lance Stroll finished in 17th. He finished 13th originally, but was given a 10-second time penalty for something that happened in the on track. So, yes. Now, my thoughts about Miami. I was not expecting to see Lando win. I know Lando's come so close so many times, but I didn't expect him to have pure pace after Max Verstappen had damage to the car. And it was a big shocker right now to see Lando win, but it's cool to see that. You know, this makes up from the heartache he had in Russia in 2021. So I thought it was a great job, and yeah. So I give Miami an 8.5 as far as that is concerned. Now let's talk about Kansas. Starting with the Truck Series race that happened Saturday night. The race was, I don't know how should I say it, was really not that crazy, but it was not that entertaining. It was just kind of meh. The only incident of the race, Ty Majeski cut a tire down, went in the wall in turn number 2, and unfortunately the damage was too much. He was on the DVP trying to get, after cutting another tire down, he ended up going to the garage. His day was done. Corey Heim won stage 1. Zane Smith finished 2nd. Christian Eckes 3rd. 4th was Chase Purdy. 5th was Caden Honeycutt, the Honeyman. Finishing 6th was Ben Rhodes. 7th was Connor Mozak. 8th was Tyler Ingram. 9th, Ty Dillon. And 10th, Daniel Dye. Stage 2, which brought out the last yellow, was won by Zane Smith. 2nd was Corey Heim. 3rd was Christian Eckes. Caden Honeycutt 4th. 5th was Chase Purdy. 6th was Brett Moffitt, making his first start of the season, by the way. 7th was Nick Sanchez, who had to start at the back after failing tech so many times, 3 times. Raja Cruz got 8th. 9th was Connor Mozak, and 10th was Ben Rhodes. Nothing happened in stage 3, and Corey Heim ended up winning that race. So the top 10 results for the Truck Series race: Corey Heim, the winner; Zane Smith 2nd; Christian Eckes 3rd; Caden Honeycutt 4th; Brett Moffitt 5th; Nick Sanchez 6th; Tanner Gray 7th; Dean Thompson 8th; Daniel Dye 9th; and Matt Crafton completed the top 10. Nothing happened at Xfinity. They were off this past weekend, so we jumped straight to the Cup Series race. That was delayed approximately 3.5 hours due to inclement weather, but they did get the race in on Sunday, even though it had to run Sunday night. So that's why the F1 race got done before the NASCAR race got started. So at least I'm not going to complain about that. Nothing happened in the first 2 stages. Stage 1 was won by Denny Hamlin. Stage 2 was won by Chris Buescher. 2nd in stage 1 was Ross Chastain. Finishing 3rd was Kyle Larson. 4th was Christopher Bell. Rounding out the top 5 was Chris Buescher. 6th was Ty Gibbs. 7th was Denny Hamlin. 8th was Noah Gragson. Kyle Busch finished 8th in stage 1. I'm sorry. 9th was Noah Gragson, and 10th was Chase Elliott. Buescher, as I said, won stage 2. Kyle Larson 2nd. Denny Hamlin 3rd. 4th was Noah Gragson. 5th was Martin Truex Jr. Ty Gibbs got 6th. 7th was Kyle Busch. 8th was Tyler Reddick. 9th was Ross Chastain. And 10th was Noah Gragson. First incident that was not the stages. Jimmy Johnson got turned by the 31 of Daniel Hemrick, collected the 7 of Corey Heim, and the 33 of Austin Hill. Only Jimmy Johnson's car was not able to continue. That brought out a caution. Then Denny Hamlin got in the back of Bubba Wallace, spun him around, collected Michael McDowell, which I will talk about Michael McDowell in the top story news. Harrison Burton got loose off of turn 2, spun out on lap 193. They had a short restart after that. Chase Briscoe and Joey Logano both spun coming onto the front straightaway. Logano ended up losing several laps trying to get his car refired, or after he had flat tires. Then the late caution came out when Kyle Busch spun off turn number 2 after we had a nice little green flag run going about 50 some odd laps. The race went into overtime, and Kyle Larson edged out Chris Buescher by 1/1000th of a second to take the Cup race at Kansas. So the top 10 results for the Cup race: Kyle Larson, the winner; Chris Buescher 2nd; Chase Elliott 3rd; Martin Truex Jr. 4th; Denny Hamlin 5th; Christopher Bell 6th; 7th was Alex Bowman; Kyle Busch 8th; Noah Gragson 9th; and Michael McDowell complete the top 10. Kansas was a decent race. I mean, the truck race wasn't really that exciting. I gave the truck race a 6.5. I give the Cup race an 8.5. I know some people are like, well, you could have given it 10 out of 10. No, the reason I gave it an 8.5 is not because of the fact that Larson won again. It's because of the fact I really think it's getting annoying seeing uh, Joe Gibbs Racing and Hendrick Motorsports winning, if you know what I mean. I know those are like the dominant two teams that are winning races. I really would like to see another like a Ford or another team go to victory lane. So I mean the racing was okay uh, as far as the Gen 7 is concerned, but I hate it for Busher, but shit happens. I mean if he didn't get loose, he would have already bypassed Kyle Larson, would have won the race. That's just my opinion, and I'm just going to leave it at that as far as that's concerned. So let's go over the top story news. Got some breaking news in IndyCar that came out yesterday, which I'm going to actually release that for anyone who is curious about that. So it brings us to our headlines for the deal. Team Penske released a statement, and here it is, and this is from IndyCar, by the way. Following the penalties to Team Penske's IndyCar team and drivers after the Grand Prix of Long Beach, Team Penske has completed an internal review. After a full and comprehensive analysis of information, Team Penske has determined that there were significant failures in our processes and internal communications. As a result, Luke Mason, number 2 race engineer, and Robbie Atkinson, senior data engineer for the number 2 of Joseph Newgarden, will be suspended from Team Penske for the next 2 IndyCar races. So it will be the Grand Prix of Indianapolis this weekend, and then the Indy 500 in that process. They will be back for Detroit. So there you go. In addition, Ron Ruskowski, managing director at Team Penske for IndyCar, will also be suspended for these 2 races, along with Tim Cindric, president of Team Penske, who is accountable for all of the Team Penske operation. Roger Penske released this statement, quote, "I recognize the magnitude of what occurred and the impact it continues to have on the sport to which I've dedicated so many decades. Everyone at Team Penske, along with our fans and business partners, should know that I apologize for the errors that were made and I deeply regret them," end quote. I thought that was a bit overkill to suspend them, in my honest opinion. I mean, I know we're gonna probably have an even deeper discussion on this. I don't know if I feel like that was a worthy penalty. I mean, I could have just said I would have given him a warning, but I think a suspension kind of went a little too far. That's just my opinion about the whole ordeal. But it is what it is, and yeah. So yeah, Team Cindric, just after the penalties were received, released this statement, quote, "For Ron and I as leaders of this team, it's not about what we did, it's about what we didn't do. It is our responsibility to provide the team and all of our drivers with the right process to ensure something like this can't happen. For that, I apologize to Roger, our team, and everyone that support us. Our number one job is to protect and enhance the reputation of our brand and that of those that support us. In that regard, as the overall leader, I failed and I must raise my hand and be accountable with the others. This is a team, and in my position, it's the right thing to do," end quote. Like I said, I don't know where I am in this situation. I mean, I just don't know where I am, with this decision. But you know what? It is what it is, and all they gotta hope for is they better not regret this decision going forward. So that's just uh, that's where I stand in that regard. So, um, we'll have the panelists' thoughts on this on next week's show. Or actually, no, I will need to address about next week's show, actually. We'll actually discuss this in 2 weeks. So, yeah. Other announcements that need to be mentioned, as I just see another throwback I need to actually post on my in LTR. Of course, I don't know if they talked about this or not. I'm going to give you guys my, or actually, no, I'm going to say that Kevin Magnuson, with the penalties he got, he is now 2 points away, rather. He's on 10 penalty points, which means he's 2 points away from a one-race suspension. As far as that is concerned, sorry, the phone tried to give me a spammer, and I need to block that spammer. There we go. So, I feel like that was crazy. You know, he's saying that he was defending Nico. Well, I don't think Nico did himself any favors by acting. I mean, I don't know what the deal was with Haas and Lewis Hamilton, first of all. I don't know what really started. I don't know what really begun that instinct, because Nico and Kevin would never do that to Lewis Hamilton, but I felt like there's more to this story than what I'm hearing. So if Kevin Magnuson does get a ban and causes any penalty points when we go to Imola next week, then he'll be suspended from Monaco. And I probably bet you, and I think this will be the first time since we started doing Triple P on this channel that we've had a driver suspended for hitting 12 penalty points. Correct me if I'm wrong. And it's crazy to believe it if that happens, because I don't think it happened. I just now realized it's never happened on this channel. Now that I think about it. So, yeah. So, let me take a drink real quick. It'll be definitely the first if Kevin Magnuson does get penalty points. If he gets penalty points at Imola next week. So, yeah. All right. Let's go over the tallies from the race at Kansas, which, by the way, I just finished the points just before I came on the air. So this is the overall points for the tallies for the, we're going to start with the truck series. I'm going to go from worst to first because that's how I did it. Anyway. Points. Zachary Taylor, 136 points. Sean Hart got 148, and Cody Smart got 173. That was trucks. For the Cup Series, I got 121 points. Sean got 154. Cody Smart got 200 points. Jesse Hart 210, and Zachary Taylor the winner of the Cup Series. So Cody Smart has the lead, which is 4,416. Sean has 3,324. Taylor 3,260. Jesse Hart puts me down to fifth. She has 3,088 to my 3,037, and Frank has 902 points. But lots of points to play for as we go into this weekend's races at Darlington, which reminds me, I'm going to go ahead and do something special on this channel. I'm going to give you my top 10 throwbacks, which I was actually going to write them down. All right. So, and I'll use the same list for Triple P. So I'll just use this for LTR for next week. By the way, spoiler alert: if you have not subscribed to LTR, and also if you have not seen last night's episode of Let's Talk Rowdy, click the link in the top right hand corner or the link in the description below. So let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and give you 3 honorable mentions while we're at it. Starting off number 10, and by the way, you guys can let me know in the comments what you guys would have gone for your picks. This is my list. Hopefully you guys, if you got, let me know what your top 10 list is in the comment section. And I just found out today we got breaking news. Actually, before we get into the program, we got breaking news that just came in that NASCAR Race Hub will be ceasing operations at the end of next month. So let me read what this article says. NASCAR Race Hub, the 1-hour daily program that airs on FS1, will come to an end next month, Racer.com has reported. The final show will air Tuesday, June 11th. Fox Sports employees were informed of the show's future Wednesday. NASCAR Race Hub debuted October 12th, 2009. The first show, which was then aired on the Speed Channel, but which was hosted by Adam Alexander and Chris Devoda, it moved to FS1 in 2013. Over the years, the show has not only featured rotating Fox Sports hosts, but began to feature more driver and crew chief analysts. Chad Knaus, Drew Blickensturfer are the regular guests on the program. Jimmy McMurray, David Reagan, and Michael Waltrip are among the other former drivers still involved with the show. A mix of news, analysts, interviews, and announcements from teams and drivers. NASCAR Race Hub also features the highly popular Radioactive segment. It's a replay of the most recent race weekends, but with audio from the team's in-car radios. NASCAR Race Hub aired its 25th 100 episode January 29th. Well, let me know what you all think about that in the comment section. That's very interesting. I think, to be fair with you all, with how Fox Sports has been really slacking and all that, yada yada yada. I really cannot say I am surprised about that. But then again, it is what it is. So yeah. But hate it that NASCAR Race Hub is coming to an end. But that's just my opinion. Okay, now back to the subject in hand. Now that I got that breaking news out of the way, let's go ahead and rate my top 10 throwback schemes. Number 10. I had to think, and by the way, for these throwback schemes for the top 10, I'm doing all 3 series. So like I said, let me know what you guys would have rated your top 10 in the comments section of this stream or in the YouTube chat. Also, I forgot to mention, take note of the description before you start commenting in the YouTube chat. That way you guys know what the rules are. Number 10. I had to think about this one. I'm going to say, number 10, I'm going to go Parker Retzlaff. Not Parker, you stupid keyboard. I said Parker Retzlaff, you darping keyboard. Parker Retzlaff's throwback to Harry Gant. As my keyboard wants to be a darping hyena. As I am telling it to stop being a drunken hyena, and it's being a drunken hyena. But Parker Retzlaff's throwback to Harry Gant. If I were to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst and 10 being the greatest, I'm going to say I give it a 7. So, yes. Again, this is my list. But like I said, let me know what you guys would rate this in the comment section. This is, by the way, for all 3 series, should I mention this. Number 9. Number 9. Ooh. Let's see here. Number 9. Who do I want as number 9? Number 9, I'm going to go Ryan Sieg's. Have they already? Let me look here. What year was Ryan Sieg's throwback? Hold on a second. Ryan Sieg's throwback for Darlington is not throwback to Dover a few weeks ago. We're caught. Okay, so it was a late model day with a flame scheme. Okay, so he threw. So it's a throwback to a gas super late model from 2008. Okay, that will be. I'm going to put that as one of my honorable mention number 1. Will be Ryan Sieg's throwback. So that is my first honorable mention. Yeah, gas super model throwback. So there's my first honorable mention. Number 9. I had difficulties figuring out what would be a good one for number 9 from all 3 series. But I had to think, what would be an awesome throwback? I am going to say, I am going to take SVG's throwback to Marcus Ambrose, who won only 2 cup races, all of them becoming at Watkins Glen. So Marcus Ambrose's 2011 throwback. So that will be number 9 for me. Number 8. And like I said, if there's any other throwbacks I don't have on this list that you want to put on your list, that's fine. You can let me know in the comments. That's why there's a comment section for that reason. But please make sure you be respectful in the comments, please, and thank you. I'm going to go with Bailey Curry's throwback to Chuck E-Fall as number 8. I've never heard of Chuck E-Fall, to be fair with you all. But I really like the story of this throwback for Bailey Curry. So, but like I said, I've never met Chuck E-Fall before, but really an awesome story, to tell you the truth. So, yeah. Oh, and I also need to mention Carson Quaffle will be racing this weekend at Darlington, which will come up to this weekend's races. And all that, yada, yada, yada. Oh, I'm going to use the NASCAR app just to do this. All right, let's see. And like I said, they've already updated this list, so that's good. Number 7, Sammy Smith throwback to Mike Brooks. I thought that was one of my favorite throwbacks. Really love the throw. Really love the car, in my opinion. So that will be number 7 on my list. So, yeah. Number 6. Number 6. Who makes number 6? I'm going to do Jeremy Clement's throwback to Robert Presley from 1989 to 93. So Jeremy Clement's throwback to the Robert Presley scheme. That is my favorite throwback in my opinion. So that will be number 6. Number 5. Number 5. I am going to do Corey Haim's Cale Yarborough throwback. I don't know why I have a period there, but I need to get rid of that period soon. But it was at 1974. I've ran a couple. Funny thing is, Chloe Erickson and I both ran a Dale Earnhardt Jr. throwback in the NNS series, and that was a cool throwback. So yes, number 4, and then I'll go to my honorable mention number 2. Taylor Grace throwback to Mark Green from 2000. Is it Mark Green? Yeah, Mark Green's 2000 scheme in the what is now the Xfinity Series. So yeah. So yes. We mentioned honorable mention number 1 will be Ryan Seeg's Gas Super Late Model throwback. I forgot to write late in there. There we go. So yeah, late model throwback. I'm going to do Christian Eckes as my second honorable mention. Christian Eckes throwing back to Brownie Green's 2000, or hold on, honorable mention 2. Christian Eckes from like the 1950s. Throwback to Brownie King. Really love the Brownie King throwback being on that list. All right, and final honorable mention for me. And if anybody says, am I going to put Jimmy Johnson on there? The answer is, throwback on there, the answer is no. I'm going to do Jack Wood. He said Wood. Jack Wood. He said Wood. Jack Wood's throwback to 1952, to Tim Flock's 1952 scheme. One of my favorite. Who was it again? It was Tim Flock. I really, really, in my opinion, love the Tim Flock throwback scheme Jack Wood's going to run this weekend. And I know I said in my line, he said Wood. Number 3. Number three. Oh, God, this is going to make people say, why the hell? I'm not doing Russ Wheeler throwback as in my top 3 or on my list. I know some people are going to say, well, you should have put it on your list. I'm like, nope. Who would be number 3? This one was a tough choice. I'm going to do Austin Hill, number 3. Throwback to Austin Hill, running a Bennett throwback in 1980. So that is my throwback right there. So that's number 3. I know the Panther server won't be happy, but to be fair, I don't give a rat's. That's what they say. Number 2. Sheldon Creed's throwback to Ivan Stewart. Really love the Ivan Stewart throwback for Sheldon Creed. So, yes. And the number 1 favorite throwback goes to, I'm going to go Justin Allgaier, throwback to 1940, throwback for Brandt's 1949 paint scheme. So those are my top 10, and as I said, let me know what your top 10 and your 3 honorable mentions would be in the comments section down below. So, yes. So, yeah. So that is my top 10 throwbacks and all that. And again, you can let me know in the comments section down below your top 10 and your 3 honorable mentions. So, yes. Now, let's get to the Kraken business in hand. On the IndyCar entry list. Hold on. Let me see this. Of course, I saw it just now. Just saw the entry list. The 6 is now TBD because they don't know who's going to run that car in that regard. Let's see here. I know there's a couple of changes. There's a couple of changes on the entry list for, hold on a second. Did I not? Let's see. This is the Berlin entry list. Taylor Bernard, which, by the way, brings us to our Mercy Orthopedics injury report. Taylor Bernard going to be racing this weekend in place of, as I'm going to go ahead and get over to Formula E, and we're going to get ready to do our, quote, predictions. Let me see here. As I forgot what I was trying to say here. Hold on a second. So, looking at the list here, Sam Bird's still out with a hand injury. Eric Jones, by the way, has been cleared to race this weekend at Darlington. Missed the 2 races due to an injury at Dega, and all that yada yada yada. So, and of course, David Maluka is out indefinitely. Do not know when he's going to be back racing, but that sucks. So. That's the Mercy Orthopedics injury report. Slow down by an orthorized, a broken bone, or a sports injury. Count on Mercy to help restore your orthopedic life. Call Mercy Orthopedics today. Mercy and the PCS Ray, a wonderful partnership. for 2 decades. Let me see here. Paul, let me see here. Buemi, who will not be at Berlin because he will be for discussion on that race weekend so far. Joel Eriksson is going to be replacing Joel Eriksson will be subbing for Robert Fringe, who also will not be racing this weekend for Formula E due to world endurance commitments. This weekend they have the 6 hours of Spa. Zachary Taylor and I will discuss that on the World Endurance Podcast for a much more discussion on that race weekend. Jordan King is going to be making his first start as I hit the wrong button. Jordan King will be in the I believe he's going to make his return this weekend. Jordan King is going to make his Formula E debut. He is replacing. I'm trying to think who he's replacing. I cannot think off the top of my head. He's replacing somebody because, and then of course Kelvin Vanderlyn, the DTM expert, is also going to be replacing Nico Mueller, who will be missing the event due to world endurance commitments. And I'm trying to think who Jordan King is filling in for. Jordan King. Let me go look on Twitter. Jordan King, because there's a couple of people who is replacing drivers who can't race this weekend. Yeah. So all 4 of them will not be too easy for stay away from, since they are replacing drivers that are going to miss this weekend's races due to commitments in the World Endurance. So 4 of them will be not too easy. So there you go. Trying to figure out who Jordan King's filling in for, because I know a couple of them are not racing this weekend. So, hang on a second. Oh, this is going to probably be my answer here. Paul Run's replacing Buemi. I knew that. Rob French getting replaced by Joel Eriksson. Knew that already. Kelvin Vanderlyn's taking over for Nico Mueller. Jordan King is Jordan King's replacing Nick DeFries. That would probably be why. Nick DeFries is not on the entry list, so there you go. So, and I'll explain this to the panelists. For the 2 people, or for the 4 drivers who miss this weekend's races due to world endurance commitments, we will, like I said, base it off their previous race, which is Monaco. So, yeah. All right, it is time for my predictions. All right, we're going to start off with Formula E. I got everybody's, hold on a second, I got pinged. Oh, this server pinged me. I don't know why, but oh well. I will read your text in just a second. No, that is not what I wanted you to do, you stupid phone. You derping hyena. I hate when my phone likes to be a derping hyena. So, yes. Okay, there we go. There we go. My phone loves to be a derping hyena and will continue to be a derping hyena. All right. And And here we go. So here are my predictions this weekend for Formula E. My drivers will make their predictions later tonight after everybody is done. So yes, we got Formula E and we have also got IndyCar. So Berlin E-Prix will be first for yours truly. All right. I'm going to start with stay away from. Stay away from Jordan King. As I said, he's not too easy. This is his first race, so he will be automatically not too easy. Dark Horse. Go back to the results. I'm going to say for my Dark Horse, I can tell you this is really going to shake everything up. Give me Nick Cassidy as my Dark Horse. My winner, Formula E, anything can happen. Give me Stoffel Van Dorn to win. IndyCar now. I'm going to steal Zachary Taylor's method. Now, let me pull up the IndyCar entry list. Of course, their race will be this Saturday. Single points. The IndyCar Scoop. I'm going to probably ask the question, who's going to be in the 6th this weekend? Which, by the way, I need to actually get the entry list as a matter of fact. And here they are. Here's the entry list. Let's see. Luca Giotto is racing the 51. So I'm going to have to go back based off the results from the last race, which was the, please accept, thank you. As that was not the button I wanted, you darping hyena. Give me Marcus Armstrong as my stay away from. Dark Horse. Give me Pedro Fittipaldi's in the 30. Okay. Give me Will Power. And I'm going to take Scotty Mack as my winner. And then I'll get my female drivers their picks as all that. So, yeah. All right, now let's go ahead and move over to the Darlington weekend. We have all 3 series in action for this weekend's events. So you can catch the Buckle Up South Carolina 200 at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday. We'll be live at 7:15 for reactions. On FS1, you'll also see it on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR, and all the Sirius XM and all that. You can catch the Crown Royal Purple Bag Project 200 Saturday afternoon at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm probably not going to be able to watch that race because I will be at a service for my dad. I hope you all understand that. That'll be at 1:30 Eastern Time on FS1. You can listen on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR, and then the Sirius XM yada yada yadas. And then you can catch the Goodyear 400, which I'll have to watch it on Monday It'll be on Sunday, Mother's Day at 3 o'clock Eastern on FS1. You can listen on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR, and all that, yada, yada, yada. So, yes. I will have my picks, by the way, in the comments section. So, if anybody asks who is in, who has what, please, you can look at the comments of my picks and all that, yada, yada, yada. So that's where we're going to leave it off as far as that's concerned. All right, text break. So, like I said, it's going to be a fun race for Tracy West. So, and yeah, so next week we're going to recap this. We're going to recap Darlington, Formula E, and also the IndyCar race. We'll preview. We're only going to do Truck Series predictions. We're not going to do Cup All-Star deal. That will probably be for the drivers. The drivers will be doing All-Star, or no, they're only going to do Truck Series predictions. Normally we'd be doing All-Star Race Weekend predictions, but we're not going to this year because I just want to save some time to get everything taken care of as far as that's concerned. So hopefully everybody understands that, and we will go from there. One other thing for NR Report, my team made the consolation race for the Master Cup Series at Indianapolis. Can't wait to finally make my debut after all of these years and after all of these times that we've done together. So, yeah. So, final thoughts before I get out of here. 114th first win for Lando Norris, becoming the 114th first-time winner. Congratulations to him. McLaren's first win since Daniel Ricciardo won the Italian Grand Prix 3 years ago. Lando Norris becomes the first British driver since George Russell did it 2 years ago at Interlagos, which he won the sprint and the main deal. First time since Valtteri Bottas that a driver not named Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton won the USA Grand Prix. And congratulations to Lando Norris on that. So congratulations. So that being said, that is going to do it for this week's episode of Triple P. Join us next week. We'll have all of the panelists back, ready to be happy and all that, yada, yada, yada. We're going to recap, as I said, Formula E, IndyCar, and all that. We're going to look ahead to the All-Star Race weekend. We also got a lot of other global picks. We're going to have to worry about that, and it's going to be fun. We got Imola next weekend for the channel and all that, yada, yada, yada. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys a lot for joining me for this episode of Triple P. It's been a fun show nevertheless and all that. And yeah, so be happy, be healthy, if you know what I mean. So, but if you guys like this episode, be sure to give a like. If you haven't considered subscribing yet, I highly recommend you do so in order to keep up with some wonderful content coming out in the near future, as well as future episodes of your favorite podcasts coming out throughout the rest of this week and onward to the next. Monday Night Raw will be back to normal next week. There will not be any wrestling episodes coming out until next week, so hope everybody's okay with that. So, yes. On behalf of my friend Becky the Beaver, hoy everybody, I'm Dean DeVos, aka PCS Ray Blue Hedgehog 26, signing out, saying you've been watching another broadcast of PCS Ray TV as we celebrate 14 years as the best in racing around the world since 2010. Have a great rest of your night, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk to you next week. See